girls.
Hi, it's Kim from Your Life Movement.
And we wanted to chat today about
Self-regulating, helping our kids out to regulate those big emotions. And we're talking all age groups, really, toddlers, tweens, teens, pretty much. It's all the same feelings, roundabout, except it manifests in different ways. So obviously toddlers throw themselves to the ground, or throw things across the room, or you're a butthead, that sort of thing. But tweens seem to, maybe it's just the girls that we have, kind of internalize a lot of their feelings and emotions, and it might come out in big tears somewhere else. Your older teenagers, what do?
Yes, they might get angry or aggressive or like
Stomp.
or kind of narky, and
This is
I
crap.
always get it as like, oh, just being so ungrateful, and you're being, and it's like, no, there's something going on.
Yeah.
But when you are in that moment, it is very hard to go, oh, darling, do you want a hug, or do you, it's very, very hard.
It's hard to not meet or mirror their feeling
feeling.
because you're frustrated.
Yes.
So what do you do?
So I try to do the lid flip. You all know that, where my lid's about to explode.
Yeah.
So I used to be very 0 to 100, really like, why are you doing that? And get really angry. Now I can see it, I can feel it in myself. So I try to walk away and take a breath. I don't react straight away, because if I do, then it's probably be like, throw you off the balcony, or say something really nasty,
I can do that too a little bit, or meet them a little bit, but I think it's different. My 12-year-old I handle differently to my 6-year-old. 6-year-old I always start with, do you need a hug? Yes, mum. So it's almost offering just that time, that space, that comfort straight away. And working with children for so long in early childhood, that is sometimes they just need that big strong hug. So there's that thing of circle of security. I am stronger, I am wiser, I am kinder, and making sure that you can rise above their stuff at that moment and really control the situation, because they can't. So think of them, they've lost the lid of their head, they've popped their lid. You're the one that's in charge now. I'm here for you. So using all those acknowledging, comforting, feeling words. Do you need a hug? Do you want some time with me? Shall we just sit on the lounge together? Would you like a tea? Just very simple, don't overload them, but just really simple things that can work. And you'll get to know your kids, what works. I mean, I can't hug my 12-year-old when she's in a moment. No, don't touch my mum. But the 6-year-old, melt. So I think it's just finding what your child's personality is.
I saw a little, I think it was about 3 or 4-year-old, and the mum, they were on the train, and he was just going crazy and wild, and the mum was ignoring him, and then the dad was like, stop it, and they were all just kind of yelling at him, and the kid just kept going and kept going.
Up.
And I just felt like, it's so hard. I know when you're in that moment, it is so hard to go, come here and give me a hug. And also they're very conscious that everyone's looking at them, and they're like, we are those parents that are just spoiled little brat and having a meltdown. But I know it works, because it worked.
Absolutely.
It worked for it's so hard in the moment, but if you just say, come here, or you just hug them when they're little, that really does work.
Absolutely. And I think you are their safe person. So just remembering that as well. If they find that you're angry at them, they're mirroring you, you're mirroring them.
It's just this
spirals.
explosion.
And it doesn't reinforce that you are safe, you are home, you are loved. I love you unconditionally, come here. I know it's really easy to say, but I think that is something I always say, arms out, what do you need? Are you okay? I'm here. So acknowledging that is really important. And you know what? We want to also set them up for being able to regulate themselves and their big emotions. Toddlers are no different to tweens and teens. They really aren't in terms of how they process. But we've got some little techniques of, shall we put some relaxation music on? And sometimes that will flare my 6-year-old up.
Like, no,
I don't want to relax. I don't want to sit on the cushion. That's but then I'll just ignore. So I actually say nothing, and I put it on anyway, but low. because sometimes it can worsen when there's something too loud. And then often you'll see him lying on the floor just looking up. Oh, Mum, I threw all my anger out the window to the mountain. And I was like, yeah, great. How'd that feel? Great. So whatever you can do to build in some techniques for your children to go, I'm going for a ride, or I'm going for a rock pool swim, or I'm throwing my anger out. The other one is my daughter. She actually throws all of that anger into a fire pit. And she visualizes, a big bin full of fire, and she just throws it in. She goes, Mum, that actually feels really good. Yeah. So it was a person's face last year, but anyway. Poor love being bullied, but So.
Well, I always find that with the older boys, if he's angry or being really mean or horrible, that something's happened during the day. He's experienced something or something.
Definitely.
He's upset with himself or he's embarrassed. And it is that as easy it is to go, why did you do that? Why are you going out? It's to just go, is everything okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
And generally, he's better at coming around now and go, oh my God, I'm just so angry. Do you know what happened? Whereas sometimes that could be weeks. And you're like, what is wrong with this child? You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what happened to me 3 weeks ago? I was like, really? I didn't know that. Okay, let's make a thing. Let's make a contract together that, let's talk about things when they come up if you can.
I know. Try to get to it straight away because it just festers and bubbles up and they feel terrible and it just gets...
Yeah. And I think, there's the different feelings that especially the older children can't often process, that anxiety, the overwhelm, the frustration, and they present in so many different ways, like, their tummy hurts or eating too much or not eating enough. They're all the little signs, I suppose, that I've noticed in my kids.
And I find my kids will be, it's generally because they've got a big assignment due and they haven't done anything, and then it's like, oh my God, I can't do anything.
And then they've got tennis training, and then they've got thing, and then they've got that.
And it's like, it's okay, it's all right, let's just take one bite at a time, and please don't leave it to the last minute ever again.
Yeah, exactly, that's right. So yes, let's not mirror the emotions. Let's try and stay calm, offer our sweet, kind, open, gentle love to our children first before we jump down their throat.
Yes. And I love, Kim taught me another good one, which was when I'm so angry at them, or when I'm, the older kids, is to see them as their little 2-year-old self. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet. Because it is true. It's like, remember when they were just 2 and they were just needed you, and
now they're just in bigger, smellier bodies. It's just, but if you can picture that beautiful little 2-year-old photo in front of you. And
before you speak, before you meet them, before you meet them with their emotion.
Yeah, definitely works.
Yes.
Good luck.